Hello, I'm David Tepera of the Dekeday Foundation. We appreciate you joining us today for our Feature of the Week, League City Police Department. We chose the police department because we were hoping to give the League City residents an opportunity to understand how our city is being protected. To help explain that, with us here today is the Acting Chief of Police, Doug Wologo. Chief, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, hey, we appreciate you spending time with us. And before we get into understanding how the city is being protected, tell us a little of your background and how you became the Acting Chief.
Okay. Well, I moved here to League City back in 1977. So I've lived here. I've been a resident for quite a few years. As I grew up, I decided League City was a nice place. They had a good police department, so I decided that was my chosen path. I'm in the Marine Corps and served 4 years in the Marine Corps. Once I got out, I came here to the police department, applied to the police department. It took me a couple years, but I got hired on here. Started out as a patrol officer, worked my way through the ranks. I was patrol for a couple years, then I got on a motorcycle, was a motorcycle officer for about 4 years, 4.5 years. Got promoted to sergeant. A couple years later got promoted to lieutenant. A couple years later got promoted to captain. Worked as a captain for 8 years. About 8 months ago, our former chief of police resigned, or the city and he came to an agreement that he would leave, and we had a gap in the leadership there, so they chose an interim position. I was chosen to take that interim position, and now we're going through the process of actually hiring a full-time chief or a regular chief, and I'm part of that process. There's several candidates that are in that process.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that. And I did read your credential list, and it is quite impressive. So I feel we are fortunate to at least have you as our Acting Chief of Police right now.
Thank you.
So tell us, what are your duties and responsibilities?
Well, the biggest duty is just maintaining the police department, making sure that we are heading in the right direction, the direction we should be going. Part of that is the budget process. We have a rather large budget here at the police department because we have a lot of employees. We have 111 sworn officers plus another 39 civilian positions within the department itself. Managing that, and I don't do it myself, but I oversee the overall process of that. And that's probably the biggest part of my day, is just that, maintaining that part of it. We're also in the design phase for a new building that we like to build across the street. Council has approved that. It's being approved in steps, and so far the design phase has been approved. We're still working on the design itself, and that takes up a lot of my time, actually.
Really?
Yes, and we've had to change it a couple different times to meet different criteria.
Right.
That and the budget process is an ongoing thing that the city does. All the directors in the city are responsible for their own budget, and then it's brought together to one big budget that's presented to council, and that's what the citizens see. Well, there's a lot of work in that beforehand, and that's one of the biggest things we've been going through the past couple months. I also have the day-to-day issues that occur in a police department. There are sometimes citizens aren't happy with the service they receive, and sometimes they are, so I get letters that say, this guy or this girl did something that wasn't right, can you look into it? Or I'll get ones that say, oh, these people are doing a great job, thank you very much. So my responsibility is to not only tell them, hey, what did you look into it, what was going on here, did you do something wrong, or was it just a misinterpretation, was it just y'all didn't agree on how the outcome of it was? But I also have the pleasure of going to officers that, hey, you're doing a great job, and here's a letter from a citizen saying you're doing a great job. Right.
Well, that's pretty neat that you're getting letters from the citizens, and it kind of keeps you connected to what's going on out there.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's great. Well, I've learned that there are different divisions within the police department. Can you explain some of those for us?
Sure. Basically, we're split up into 3 different bureaus. The bureaus are the Administrative Bureau, the Operations Bureau, and the Support Bureau. Our Administrative Bureau, which includes our jail and communications, I have a captain that's over that, and he oversees both those operations.
Okay.
Then there's the Operations Bureau, which is the biggest bureau. It's the one that has the patrol officers, the one that most people see driving around in patrol cars. It has that in it, then it has the...
that takes up about half of your officers, doesn't it?
That's actually a little bit over half of our officers, yes.
Okay. Right.
Like I said, that's the backbone. That's where everything starts. Usually when someone talks to a police officer, that's the first one they talk to.
Okay.
Then they also have the Criminal Investigation Division, which is if a crime occurs, the officer writes an offense report, that report goes to those investigators, and they're the ones that look into that. They also do backgrounds on new employees, because we are, I shouldn't say constantly, we are trying to hire, we have open positions, so they are doing backgrounds on for officers and jailers and telecommunicators. Then we have the Support Bureau, which includes our training division, which we have, there are some requirements by the state. All police officers have to have a minimum training throughout their career. Okay. So every 2 years it's called a cycle, and every 2 years they have to have certain training. We have officers that, and a lieutenant that's specifically responsible to make sure that our officers are getting that training, and we try and do the training in-house. That saves the citizens money, because instead of sending an officer to Houston or even further away to that to go to training, we do the training here at the police department.
Okay.
And we have officers that are specifically trained to train. They're trained the trainer, so they are trained to train other officers. They also, the special operations also includes our traffic division, which has not only cars, but it has motorcycle also. Okay. So we have motorcycle and cars that are out there specifically for traffic. If there's an issue, we have a lot of times we'll have citizens say, I have speeding vehicles in this particular area. That's what they do, is they go to those particular areas. They also investigate accidents. If there's a major, they do most of the minor accidents, but if there's ever a major accident with serious injuries and stuff, that's who we send there, because they've had that specialized training to be able to do that. Okay. Those kind of investigations. There's also a commercial motor vehicle division, which is 2 officers that are in trucks, and they stop the dump trucks and the 18-wheelers and stuff that are going through town to make sure that they're safe. Because that's one of the things, if you notice on the highway, a lot of times when you have major accidents, it's because a truck was unsafe, tire came off, and well, those kinds of things. And that's what they do, is they stop those vehicles to make sure that they are safe and they are meeting all the guidelines set by the federal government. Those are the full-time positions. They're also responsible for some of our part-time positions. Part-time are things like our SWAT team. We have a SWAT team that if there's a special situation
going on. So League City has their own SWAT team?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
It's a team that since the city is not that big, and a SWAT team, you have a lot of different positions on it, it's actually it's called a combined agency response team, because ourselves, Pearland, and Alvin kind of get together, and if there's a big situation, we have employees from all 3 of those cities that get together and work together. Oh, but we have our own team that if it's a situation that doesn't need that many people, we can do it ourselves. Really? It's kind of a multi-purpose team. It works really well. And those officers are really well trained also. We ensure that they get training on a regular basis, because we don't want something bad to happen. Because they're there in serious situations. Right. They're not called just because someone has a traffic warrant or something like that. Exactly. They're more serious. Wow, it's good to know. Then we have a Marine division also that we've recently started back up. It was kind of put on the shelf for a little while, but we started it back up. As you know, the whole north side of League City is all water. Right. And we have a lot of waterways, so our Marine division has just got back to where they're on the water every week, at least once a week, plus on holidays. And what they're out there is to make sure that the people are out there boating safely. Right. They'll stop people and do inspections, but the inspections they do are to make sure they have life vests, they have a working horn, those kind of things. Right. And it's for the safety of the citizens, for no other reason. Exactly, because it's obviously a big water recreation area for us, so we do want to help keep that safe too. I didn't realize you guys were involved in that. Well, that's really good to know about all these divisions and the way you're connected with the League City community. But what are some other things that you guys are doing that gets you involved with the League City community? We have a couple of programs that are in place right now. We have our officer assigned to, we have 1 officer right now, and it's about to be 2 officers that are assigned to community outreach. And what the community outreach does, they run the Citizens Police Academy. Citizens Police Academy is basically a training class that we offer to citizens. We offer it twice a year. It runs 16 weeks, where they come in every Thursday evening. They go through a class, and that class gets basically what I just said. You learn that in that class, but you learn a lot more specific than what I said. I said it in 2 minutes, what they learn in 16 weeks, because they go into detail and they get to actually see all of those things in operation and see how they're working. Okay, so at the end of 16 weeks, what does that do for us? Well, they have an option to become a member of the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, and they also have opportunities to volunteer here. We have people that have gone through that. A lot of times we don't, and it's not that we don't want citizens here, but when we have someone come in and do stuff, volunteer work here, we have to make sure that they know what they're doing. We can't just have someone come in and say, hey, I want to walk around and start writing tickets. We can't, someone just off the street can't walk in and just start writing tickets. But we have a program where the people that have been through that Citizens Police Academy can volunteer to go around, and they'll go to public parking lots and look for people that are parked in the handicap spot. Because there are, handicapped citizens, there's a reason that there are laws that say you'll have so many handicapped parking spots.
Right.
And we don't want people parking in those spots, and people that are handicapped don't want people parking there either. They're there for a reason, because they have trouble getting in and out of vehicles or up to stores. So that's one of the programs they have, is that they go around and ensure that people aren't parking in those spots.
Okay, so they're helping with the minor offenses, more or less.
There's also, in the past, and this comes and goes, there isn't any opportunity right now, but during like holiday season, they'll volunteer to be in the Citizens Police car, and they'll drive around in parking lots just to make sure there aren't people looking to burglarize cars. They won't take any action, but they're basically extra eyes for us, is what they are. And during those times of years, they'll be driving around looking for things, and they'll call us and say, hey, there's this person here, he's suspicious, y'all might want to come check this out, and we do that. And usually they're very helpful on things like that.
Okay, well that seems to be a really neat program, and I have heard of it. And so what else kind of ways are these police getting involved with our community?
Well, we also have, our community outreach also has involvement with National Night Out. National Night Out is normally in August, but here in the state of Texas, most agencies have moved it to October because of the heat. It's a lot easier to have it. A little nicer to be out there in October meeting your neighbors than it is in August. But what we do is we get involved with that. We offer the opportunity for any subdivision apartment complex to come to us, and we give them gifts that they can give out, and also coordinate with them so that police officers and fire department personnel and city officials will go to each of these community events to meet the people and talk to them. And last year, our community outreach officers received an award for the program that they put in, for that National Night Out program that they were involved in.
Well, and I'd heard that. I believe it's a national award at that.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's a great recognition for League City. It says a lot about the police department. Well, Chief, it's really good to know how the police department is involved with the community. I'm sure there's people that are watching us now, and they probably want to learn more or volunteer or get involved themselves. Can you give us some information on the website?
Yes, sir. If anyone that wants to go to our website is www.lcpd.com. If you go to the website, there's a lot of information there. One of the things that is on there is ways to sign up for our Citizens Police Academy. I'm not sure of the date, but I know we have one starting within the next 60 days. So, and I believe there are still positions or spots available on that, so people can go there. And there are ones that are scheduled in the future also. Also, there's a link on that page to get to our Facebook page, because we do have a Facebook page here at the police department.
Okay.
Anyone that's interested in actually being a member of the police department, whether it be a police officer or a telecommunicator, there's information on there and how they can do that also.
Okay, and I'm sure you're always looking for more, because our city is exploding. The population is just is taking off.
Yes, sir.
Well, Chief, we really appreciate you taking the time to share with us and give the League City residents the opportunity to understand more about our police department. Residents, it's obvious that we have a very qualified acting chief for us, and the fellow officers that are involved really are trying to be connected with our League City residents, and I feel very honored to have them protecting our city. As always, be responsible, be safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.